Before I get started with this video, let me give a shout out to one of my Twitter followers, Brenda Stacy, who retweeted this tweet or the screenshot of this tweet onto her page and is pretty much making its rounds. And I said I cannot ignore what this says because this right here says quite a bit without saying much. Actually, I take that back. It is actually saying quite a bit. It's saying a lot, actually. So basically, this is a tweet that was in response to ABC, in referencing the election results for the state of Virginia. Of course, as you know, Virginia has now been turned into a Republican or a red state based on the winning or the projection of the results of the election that just took place. And I don't really care how many people feel about it. I just said that when it comes to black people, this is what happens when you don't adhere to our demands. And I think I actually kind of talked about it in my live stream where I was saying how the messed up part about it is this guy wants to retain qualified immunity, which of course gives police the utmost invincibility. And we know that works heavily against us as black people. And then we know that he ran his campaign on CRT and, you know, the fear of black people and all types of stuff. But at the end of the day, the Democrats, they fumbled the ball again, as usual. They didn't adhere to any demands that we had and took us as a joke. So this is how we decided to leave them hanging. And unfortunately, you know, we know that it's bad because like we said, most of us already know it's two wings of the same bird. Like neither one is worse than the other. It's just that one projects themselves more than the other does in a lot of cases. But I wanted to talk about this person right here whose name is Helen Carter. And her username is @ScrapBookerNGA. And I'm guessing in Georgia. And this response that she made that has 73 retweets and 772 quoted tweets. And I think a lot of people went in on her. And it was posted on November 2nd, 2021. Helen says, "This is completely unacceptable. If the blacks are going to vote for the racist, then maybe we shouldn't let them vote anymore. Sometimes you have to do what's good for them, even if they don't understand why." She said a whole lot in just a few sentences, and people are grilling her ass right now as we speak, and rightfully so. So we're going to break down what she says. This is completely unacceptable if the blacks, she already struck out with just saying the blacks. Because whenever a white person says the blacks in that tone, we already know what they would rather say. They rather say that other word. Are going to vote for the racist, meaning and they're talking about Youngkin, then maybe we shouldn't let them vote anymore. Basically, it sounds to me like this Helen Carter person is upset with what happened as far as results go in the state of Virginia. Mind you, she's in Georgia, a whole separate state that's hours away from Virginia. And if you look at the votes and everything like that, black people did not really show up at all for either side. If you really want to like do numbers, like there wasn't one more than the other. I can't remember how Professor Black Truth broke down the numbers on his page. I think he said that this Youngkin guy actually got less votes than Trump did in the state of Virginia, but he still managed to pull out a win. And if you break it down by race, black people did not go out and vote for them because here's the thing. Either black people were going to vote for Democrat or they weren't going to vote at all. And based on what we're seeing, Democrats did not win and this guy did. So this tells me black people didn't really go out like in numbers like they were hoping they would. No matter how many fallacies they told themselves or whatever Jonathan Capehart put out there, it just wasn't happening. So I don't know what she's talking about. Helen is being a whole Karen right now. She says, if their blacks are going to vote for the racists, then maybe we shouldn't let them vote anymore. She really told on herself when she said that, then maybe we as in white people, should not let them vote anymore. If anybody wants to know, and I'm not even going to claim this as my own phrase. Somebody wrote on Twitter that white women, if they don't see how white women are the architect of Dub S, I don't know what to tell you. And I thought that was a very brilliant term to call her the architect of Dub S. What do they say? That the woman is the first teacher of the child. And this woman has been teaching her children, especially her male children, how to be the true assholes of society at large. The only thing standing in her way from being the ruler of society the way that her man is the fact that she doesn't have a dick between her legs. Truth be told. Which is probably why many of them walk around here like they have one. Talking about we shouldn't let them vote anymore. Let's be real here. Another reason the white woman is mad because she couldn't vote before black men. Oh yes, history has shown and has been proven that black men were actually given the right to vote way before white women were. That was one of the first times black men had a one up on any white person, no matter if they was a man or a woman in society. Crazy how that all worked, right? That's a little something they don't teach you about in school. How dare you let them, what's vote before me, and we had them as property. How dare you let someone who's beneath me in society get the chance to vote before me? How dare you? She said we shouldn't let them vote anymore. And truth be told, this Helen Carter, she's not the only white woman who feels this way. It's several others, but she was one of the only few that actually who actually said something out of her mouth and put it on the internet. She says sometimes you have to do what's good for them, even if they don't understand why. Now that really rounds out what this whole statement is saying. In case y'all really don't grasp that last statement, basically what she's saying is white people, and I'm limited to her as a white woman, has to do the thinking and the bidding for black people because they're just too stupid and intellectually inept to figure things out for themselves. We lack the brain capacity to think critically, is what she's saying. We don't know how to vote properly, aka vote the way they want. Even if we did not vote at all. Because it goes back to that saying of, well, not voting is like giving your vote to them. And we've heard that term before, mainly from other black people. And I think that's one of the most dumbest terms. I'm like, a vote for them, not voting for them, that you just didn't vote. She showed her entire backside with this tweet. Her whole back end. That probably looks like that of an ironing board. I had to pause it right quick because if the first tweet that I showed you wasn't something, let me show you another one from a couple months ago that somebody was able to retrieve. And shout out to Loki Dark Song for retrieving it. Same person, same name as you can see. Helen Carter, scrapbooker, NGA. It's the same person. It's just a different profile picture. They says, I'll have you, and it was posted in June of this year. I'll have you all know right now, don't even think of hitting the DMs on me. My husband is a cop and he approves every tweet before I send it. He will put you in jail if you say anything inappropriate to me. And basically, if you really think about what she just said, she basically admitted to extortion by proxy via her husband, who was a cop, because she tweeted out these threats. I don't know what this woman's deal is. She went from doing this to saying what she said in the previous tweet that I said, but this is your typical liberal Caucasian woman. You know, the one that's probably at all the BLM rallies, and the ones that's raising her fists alongside black women, or the one that says that she has a black boyfriend or a mixed child and all types of stuff. That's her in a nutshell. And she showed her as mainly in that previous tweet and in this one. I know this is not a news story, but I said, hey, let me just go ahead and bring it to y'all attention because y'all have to see this, because seeing is believing. But they are going in on her right now. I know her mentions are in shambles, and rightfully so. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video on this note. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to you later.